fire started in 1962, exactly 56 years ago on this day, from Memorial Day, because the dump that was located right next to the cemetery, and every year the town had 5 volunteer firefighters go out and do a controlled burn on the town dump, just to make it look more presentable for Memorial Day. And so in 1962 they did, and what wound up happening was, a few days later they noticed there was still smoke coming out from the pit, and then a state inspector from Pennsylvania came about a month or two later, and then they noticed there was still smoke coming up, and then they figured out the fire got into the mines. And the thing was, you couldn't contain it, because it was all in this, because the mines worked, at least now you couldn't. In the beginning, they could have contained it when it was all going in one direction, but the thing was, they were too slow to act, and so the fire was able to work its way into the labyrinth of mines that are down there. And so now it's burning in all directions, and there's really no way to stop it, because it has a ready supply of oxygen, and so that fire is going to burn for quite a while. So this is what's now known as Graffiti Highway on Centralia. This is where the fire actually went underneath it. Like the mound that's like right up here, that's where the fire just kept on going after they decided to abandon the highway, so they had to reroute it around where the burn zone is. And you could still feel on certain sections of the highway where the fire is, you could still feel the warmth coming up. Yeah, I could kind of feel it. Whoa, right here, right there. Like you could feel it. You feel it?
Feel it.
And now, since the highway's just here, people just come and graffiti it at their leisure.
This is to end in fire, then we shall all burn together. Watch the flames climb high into the night, calling out, Father, oh, stand by and we will watch the flames.
This is one of the holes that they drilled to monitor the temperature. It even says, do not back over with tour bus, because it's just become so popular for tourists. And this is one of the methods they had of measuring the progress of the fire. So right now we're going down the main street of Centralia. Well, it was. This is Locust Avenue. And back in the 60s, before the fire, this place was just lined with stores and houses, and there was a school. And now nothing remains, absolutely nothing. It's just spooky to think this once was a town with more than 1,000 people. Now it's dwindled down to not even 10. Very few houses remain, just very little remains of this town. And now, right now, we're coming up to the old church. At least this is the last one that's still standing.
Did you remember me?
I kind of want to pull up to the municipal building right here.
Why?
Because, Joe, because. Look, it's all like boarded up and stuff. We're not gonna get out, but in here in the municipal building, you could probably catch it on the GoPro. There's a fire engine and an ambulance still in there, but
Boyer.
this place has just been totally useless for quite a while, and you could tell there are windows shattered. There's just nothing really remaining.
Surely I'll do the same. Confined in mountain holes, we got too close to.
So all of this here where the fence is, this used to be someone's house. These look like there were probably steps going up to the house that once was here. like there, right there, there's the gate to the front where you'd come in on the road or the sidewalk. On both sides, houses just line these streets. And like there, way over there, there's one of the houses of the few remaining residents. But yeah, these houses here, all of these in 1992 were claimed under eminent domain. So the people were designated as squatters, living in the houses that they bought and they've lived in for the majority of their lives. And they took the state of Pennsylvania to court. And eventually in 2013, they reached the agreement that the remaining residents would be allowed to stay in their houses until their deaths. And then after that, they'd be demolished. But yeah, that was an ongoing legal battle that they had with the state of Pennsylvania for like, what, 20 years? People live their whole lives. Just imagine people living their whole lives here, and then all of a sudden they're told, yeah, can't live here anymore. Fire underneath your feet.
Hold fast and we will watch the flames burn over on the mountainside. Desolation.
So even though the fire is burning in that direction, about probably a mile down, there's a strip mine going on there, and there's another one that's right over there where the windmills are. Those windmills are visible from Highway 81, but there's still strip mines there despite the fact that there's a fire burning underneath their feet. So I don't know if they're really concerned about the fire spreading there, but if so, it probably would take a while to get there. Or I wonder if they're gonna put precautions in place in case the fire does eventually get to this location. Like right here, this is where the fire started. This is the old dump. Like, as you see, the thing was the cemetery was there. And so, on Memorial Day, this was the old dump. So they did a controlled burn. Didn't really work. Warning, surveillance cameras. This is the reason why people keep coming back to visit.